These 3 products claim to visibly reduce eye bags and wrinkles in minutes, but claims and real life are 2 very different things. So today I'm testing the 3 most popular options on bare skin over concealer and under concealer to see which one truly performs best and fits seamlessly into a real makeup routine. Let's go. Product number 1 is one that really made this category go viral, and it is the Peter Thomas Roth Instant FirmX Temporary Eye Tightener. This is the original formula and it retails for $39. The magic behind many of these formulas is silicates. As the product dries, they create a thin tightening film on the skin that can temporarily make puffiness look flatter and the texture look a lot smoother. So I know for a fact with this product that you need the tiniest amount. So I'm just taking a tiny little bit off the back of my hand and I'm going to apply it to my under eyes and I'm gonna pat it in. Now this product takes 3 to 7 minutes to dry and we need to remain completely expressionless. So on this eye, let's try a thicker layer and see what happens. This layer was so thin that I almost didn't feel it tightening. And I know with this product, you can definitely feel it tightening when you have a lot on. The biggest issue is you start getting this kind of gluey residue. So I'm just going to feather and blend that into the cheek, and then I'm gonna stipple to make sure it's all evenly patted and spread in. Yeah, so I can already feel this tightening, whereas this one I did such a tiny thin little coat that I did not really feel much tightening at all. It's tempting, I think, while it's drying before anything has happened to like add more, and that's a mistake I made with this product a lot. A thin layer is way more effective than a thick layer, and when you're applying it, you almost can't feel how thick it is. I can already see that working amazingly well, but I also do see a little bit of a white cast forming in here and a little bit of a white cast forming in here. I think it's easier to get away with the white cast when you have really fair skin. It doesn't contrast as much, but since my skin is medium, it shows up a lot. So it's kind of nice that you're seeing it on my skin, because if it's gonna white cast on someone, it's gonna white cast on me. Now it says right on the bottle, if you have excess residue, you can pat it away with a damp cloth or cotton swab or a fingertip. So I'm just gonna take this white cast right here and I'm gonna pat it away to see if we can get rid of it. I feel like I've played with this product so much that I've kind of gotten used to using the perfect amount. That residue really comes when you overuse it though. But the truth though is that this works like a crazy miracle product. It's wild. It's not user friendly. Okay, I totally get the negative reviews. If you're not makeup savvy or patient to kind of perfect and tweak this application, you're going to try it several times. You'll probably hate it. But if you are patient, you have eye bags, you're probably going to love it. Look at that after compared to the before. It's a huge difference. And I filmed everything in natural light for you guys so that you could also see. The studio light makes things so flattering. It blurs the skin out so much. It makes me look so much better than I do in real life, to be completely honest. So it was really important for me to show you how all of this looks in natural light as well. Now, I have a lot of creepiness when I smile. That's when my skin really bunches up. So let's do a little smile test. So I still have, of course, my little expression lines, but I do think it's actually a lot better. There's no denying it works, but there's also no denying that it's not easy to use at all. Let's try putting some concealer on it. So I went down the rabbit hole online to kind of figure out how to put makeup on it, because there are people that say that you can put makeup on it. There's people that say that doesn't work at all. I've tried it many times. I've never gotten it to work. But the Haus Labs concealer is the concealer that all of these people are talking about using on top of it and saying that it works. So let's try it out. Like, we're gonna go really easy on it, okay? Again, we're just going to paint out the depth and nothing else. I don't want to do anything in here. I don't want to overdo it. I've been seeing a few people pat in concealer with a puff lately, and it always looks so good. I would not pat this in with a damp beauty blender. And the reason is because water breaks this up, right? It breaks the film apart. So we don't want to break the film. We just want to cover it ever so slightly and brighten. I don't know. Let's try the other side with my finger and see if the warmth of my finger does a better job of blending it out. Yeah, that did a much better job of blending it out. That actually looks better than I expected. When I go super close up, it is a little splotchy, but from like a little bit further back, it actually looks pretty good. Okay, this is what it looks like in studio light. Peter Thomas Roth, original formula with the Haus Labs concealer on top. And this is how it looks in natural light. That worked way better than I expected, for real. Is it perfect, like flawless? No, it's not. But it's actually okay. It's better than usual. And I think maybe it's because this combination seems to work out. I mean, on days when I'm super, super puffy, I could see myself reaching for this. This is for sure the most powerful one of the three that we're going to be testing. So if you have serious bags, like you're really struggling with it and you really, really want like a bra for your bags, you know, it's going to hold them, but hold them down and not hold them up. This is really good. Let's take this off. I want to see how it's actually going to look with concealer underneath, like using this on top of makeup. We'll see if that works better. Okay, let's use the same concealer. Look, when I took everything off, you can literally see my bag just like boop, pop back out. Now, I didn't think that using concealer as the first step was even an option for a product like this. Like I've never tried that. But then when I was researching for this one, which is the one by L'Oreal, right? I was like, oh my gosh, L'Oreal came out with one that competes with like Peter Thomas Roth. I haven't really seen a competitor for Peter Thomas Roth. And we all know that L'Oreal, because they have such amazing R&D and they've been around for so long, they do everything better than everyone else. Like it's crazy. So I was really intrigued. So I went down the rabbit hole of creators using this product and everyone was saying to actually use it as your last step. So use concealer first. You use this on top, which would have never occurred to me ever. I don't know why. I just did not think that that was, you know, an option for this type of product. So then I was like, well, would it work for this one? And then when I read on the back, it actually says can be used before eye treatments, makeup, or alone. Try mixing it in with eye cream, concealer, or primer. So, you know, if you can mix it in with concealer or primer or eye cream or all of the things, then maybe it's more flexible than I like initially gave it credit for. You know what I mean? We are shaking it. So because I don't want to disrupt the concealer underneath, I think I'm just going to pat it on this time. Now we wait. I'll see you in 7 minutes. That looks so good. Never, ever, ever did I think that you could use it like this. Okay, a few things that I'm noticing is that there is a little gluey cast right here. Do you see that? So we can just kind of blend that out with the water. I don't want to completely remove it because it's smoothing things out so much, but we can kind of blend that out. And there's a little bit of whiteness here. Do you see that little speck? And I can see a little gluey cast here. So all I'm doing is just taking my tissue. I am just kind of diffusing the edges. But oh my gosh, that looks so good. I'm like shocked. Did I just find another way to use this for real? I can't even. That looks so good. Holy smokes. But see the gluiness. Okay, do you see this gluey cast? That's the problem with this. It's a little bit tricky to diffuse the edges. It's always the edges. But I mean, come on, that is really impressive. Like what the heck? Whoa. Did I just discover a new way to wear this? That's actually amazing. Let's look at natural light. Studio light makes things look too good. Like let's cut the BS. Okay, let's cut the diffuse light reflector BS. That was a pleasant surprise. I really didn't think that was gonna work at all. And that actually worked pretty well. Now, if I'm being 100% honest, okay, if I do this and I look really closely, there are some issues. Like in here especially, like get right in there. You can see a little bit of like splotchiness and blotchiness. It's not perfect from a magnifying mirror perspective, but you know how we had that talk a few weeks ago about moving back a little because no one's looking at you like 20x, like no one is, right? And so we got to move back a little bit and not expect perfection. We just want improvement, right? Improvement is enough. We don't need to be perfect. We just want to feel a little bit better. If I step back, I actually think it did an amazing job. Of the 3 ways to wear it, I think my favorite way is with concealer underneath. In terms of like strength, it's very strong. So out of 5 stars in terms of strength, how much it holds your bags and how much it smooths your wrinkles, this is 5 out of 5 to the point where like I can feel it. It feels like someone's like stretching your skin under your eye. If you are sensitive to sensory things, I don't think you're gonna like that because it is noticeable. And some of my clients have said that. They're like, I don't like this feeling. Take it off. If you are not sensitive to sensory things like that, then you might not mind it or you might even like it because it really feels like it's held, you know? know, like a little gluey facelift. I mean, it made a huge difference. Even when I squint and smile, I think it's even smoothed that out. But again, we do have some issues with transition. So this is not a perfect product at all, but I mean, it's powerful and it works. And now we know we can use it on top of concealer as long as it's the House Labs concealer. It's the only one I've tested it on, to be honest. But everyone online is saying to use this concealer with this product. And I mean, it does work. Let's move on to the next one. Product number 2. This is the L'Oreal Paris Revitalift Eye Bag Instant Eraser. This is the drugstore answer to a category that was previously dominated by prestige products. What makes this launch really interesting is that many people love the idea of the original tightening products, but as we know, they didn't love the white residue, the huge learning curve, or the price tag. This formula seems to be L'Oreal's attempt to make the category more accessible, more affordable, but also more wearable and easier for everyday consumers to try and to succeed at. So now the question is, can the affordable option actually compete in this arena? Let's see. Now for this one, it says to wait 15 minutes. So on dry skin, apply half a pea size amount per under eye to cover eye bag. And it's designed for daytime use as the last step of your routine on top of skincare or makeup. So this is designed to be used on top, but we're going to try it all the different ways anyway, just to see. So half a pea size amount. And here it says to tap. So we are tapping just like before. And then it says to diffuse the edges. L'Oreal has been killing it at the drugstore. I mean, they always did. Let's be real. This is my bad eye. We all have a bad eye, right? One eye that gives us grief. This one is the one for me. Aging is a funny thing. It's like 1 minute you're so young and you don't have any of these issues, and then you wake up one day and you're not young. And all of a sudden you're like, what's that? Why do I have that now? Now I can tell you from using this before, to be honest, but also from using it now, that this is much easier to use. It's not as intense. Like the hold is lighter, it's softer. The white cast doesn't come like so easily. The user error for this one, way less. With that said, I don't get as much like intense smoothing from it. It is a softer hold, but it's also a lot easier to use for sure. 15 minutes and I'll be back. Okay, here's our finished result after 15 minutes in studio light. And here it is in natural light. So the great thing about this product is that it is so much lighter than this product. It feels completely comfortable. Like I do not feel this girdly feeling, you know, like there's something stretching and pulling and smoothing. It feels completely natural. I have more movement and expression. You can see when I smile, I have more of the lines showing up because it's not such a strong hold. Much easier application. Look, I'm not getting that gluey kind of pulled out look anywhere in the perimeter. It's way more user friendly. That's all I can say. If you're not a big makeup girl, you don't want to fuss and this and that and perfect the application, and you don't mind a softer hold, this beats this any day. So let's try it with concealer next. Let's use the exact same concealer. Okay, hold on. Let's try my fingers next. Remember that when you're applying anything on top of a product that can't move, you have to stipple, okay? So I'm pressing. I'm not swiping. If I was swiping, this would be an absolute disaster because we would be breaking up the cast underneath. Now, when you get to the exterior parts, like here, you can diffuse like that and blend. That actually looks pretty good. And this product, you're not even supposed to use it this way. I have tried this with another concealer before. I tried it with the Huda Beauty concealer, which is the one that I typically use. When I use the Huda Beauty concealer on top of this, it doesn't look that good. I'm gonna be honest, it gets really splotchy. The House Labs concealer is such a different formula from a lot of the concealers. It was my favorite for a long time. Since then, I've been reaching for other ones just because I like to test different things. And so I haven't used this concealer on top of this formula before, but it looks way better on top of this formula than the Huda Beauty one, as a heads up. So if you try this and you don't like how your concealer looks on top of it, you might need one that's formulated more like the House Labs one, or get the House Labs. It looks okay. If I look super up close, you know what, even super up close, it looks okay. Obviously not completely perfect because that's reality. I wonder if it looks better underneath than over top because it's meant to be worn as the last step. So we'll try that next, but here's how it looks in studio light and here's how it looks in natural light. My under eyes are so angry right now. We're powering through. I'm taking one for the team. This concealer is nice. It feels very natural. Okay, let's try it on top now. A little bit. And let's apply and pat. Next one. I like starting it right in the tear trough area and diffusing it out because we got to diffuse those edges. I don't suggest starting like out here because there's going to be too much product. You know what I mean? You got to go easy when you use products like this. Easy on the product itself. Like don't overuse the product, but don't overuse the concealer either. This is a less is more situation. And for me to say that is a lot because I'm usually a more is more type of gal, especially when it comes to makeup. And now we wait.
A few moments later.
Guys, this actually looks great. I'm so impressed. I do not have a weird gluey residue. It's not splotchy at all, even up close, like really up close. It went on top of this concealer really well, and it doesn't feel tight. It feels like very comfortable. And I do think it did a good job of smoothing things out. Whoa, that's awesome. Okay, this is how it looks in studio light. Here's some movement. You can see it's not quite as firm, but it is comfortable. And here's how it looks in natural light. Now let's move in to the third product, and it's still from Peter Thomas Roth, but it is the Easy Wear formula. The first formula became super famous for its very dramatic results, but it also became known for being very tricky to get right. So this new Easy Wear version was created to be more user-friendly, more seamless on the skin, easier to incorporate into a real, like everyday routine for someone who's not a makeup artist. But the big question for me is, did they improve the wearability without losing the results? Let's compare. I was so excited when this came out because I just thought, oh my goodness, will this solve all the problems that the first one had? Now, this formula is meant to be easier to wear, and you're also supposed to be able to wear makeup with it. Now, for this one, you have to remain expressionless for 3 to 7 minutes. So pretty much just like the other ones. While this dries, let me just tell you one quick thing. It is very important that you don't have expressions in the drying stage because it literally is like glue. If you have expressions and you create wrinkles, it's actually going to glue it in that position. You'll actually look more wrinkly than you are. So we're dry. Here we go. Now, what I can tell you is that it's a much lighter hold. Again, you don't get that really strong pulling feeling under the eyes. My eyes do feel taut. They feel more pulled than the L'Oreal one for sure, but not nearly as pulled as this one. So if I were to rank the pulling sensation, it would be this, then this. This one you do mildly, and this one's like intense, like really intense. With that said, you can see that it is smoothed out quite a bit. It's kind of blurred out the wrinkles, stretch them out really nicely. This is how it looks in studio lighting, and this is how it looks in natural lighting. Since it's that in-between hold, let's do some big expressions and see how it holds that. Okay. So yeah, it's still in between. I can still make my expressions. You still see my lines. I find with the original Peter Thomas Roth, it almost like holds it down. So when you smile, it's almost like, not completely, but it really is held like more firmly. This one, I still have like a little bit of crepiness under there. That's what I naturally have. But I do feel that it holds it down a little bit. Look at that, no gluey residue. So I gotta give credit where credit is due. And I do feel like the people at the Peter Thomas Roth lab did a good job of not only creating a very innovative product, but then pivoting and creating a more user-friendly product that addressed all the issues of this product. Let's try it with our House Lab concealer again. Let's see how it looks with it on top. That looks really good. Because I've worked with this product so many times and I have so much experience with it, not all concealers sit the same on it. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you because I would hate for you guys who are struggling with puffiness and bags and fine lines and wrinkles and all of the things to buy this product and be like, you know, Gabby recommended it, I'm so excited to try it, and then have it look terrible. Like, you need a concealer formula that is going to be compatible with this type of product. I think you need something like House Labs, a silicone-based concealer. This is how it looks in studio lighting, and this is how it looks in natural lighting. That is the best that I've ever gotten this product to look, ever. If you are struggling, practice the amount of product you're using and make sure you have the right concealer. Last one. Let's start with our concealer. Let's see how easy wear looks on top of concealer. Make sure that when you apply this product over your concealer, that your concealer itself is flawless, okay? Because if you have excessive creasing or it's not blended well or it's splotchy or whatever, that's it. Okay, are we ready? Let's do this. See how I'm patting? I'm patting to not disrupt the concealer. Wow, this looks so good. I've learned a very important lesson in this video, and that lesson is that this product does much better on top of concealer than it does under concealer, all of them. This one is the trickiest, of course, but it still worked, remember? This looks great. I don't see any gluey residue at all. It has smoothed and flattened this area out completely. Here it is in studio lighting, and here it is in natural lighting. So after testing all three products on their own, under concealer and over concealer, here's where I landed. If you want the easiest formula to wear, the most comfortable formula, and the one that feels the most effortless in your real life routine, that would hands down be the L'Oreal Revitalift Eye Bag Instant Eraser. If your main concern is more extreme puffiness, pronounced bags, or you want the most dramatic, flattening, and smoothing effect possible, the very clear winner for me is the Peter Thomas Roth Instant FirmX, the original formula. Now, if you want that dramatic tightening effect, but in a formula that feels more realistic for everyday life and is easier to work with, then Peter Thomas Roth Instant FirmX Easy Wear formula really stood out for that. To me, this one gave kind of the best balance of very strong results with a less extreme application curve. It still delivers impact, but without feeling quite as finicky as the original. If you've tried any of these, let me know in the comments what you think. I'll see you in the next one.